Hey, Dad.
He's just gonna probably bring him in and just give him to me. I mean, we're not gonna have time to get him in. Can I leave my coffee back there?
I'll go look. What? What coffee?
That rogue one. Thank you.
It's too
LakePoint Sports. Ring season continues here with the National Championship Final coming up to you from LakePoint Sports here at the Baseball Village. And we've got building champions going against Canes Midwest. And if anything is an indication off of what we saw from the semifinals, this figures to be a fantastic matchup. We've got first pitch scheduled for around 11:25 a.m., so excited to bring you this one. Canes Midwest winning in walk-off fashion off the bat of Liam Delp. Meanwhile, building champions trailed 6-1 against 6'4" DP, end up winning 12-6. That highlighted by a grand slam from Drew Pittman. So there figures to be plenty of excitement. Again, if these semifinal matchups are any indication, on the way during this broadcast, I'll be joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt and Ian Smith, along with our own Grayson Rosen. And we'll have Riley Klingman bringing you the post-game coverage, which you'll be able to find across our social media channels. But until then, we're excited about this matchup, and certainly excitement has been the topic of conversation across campus all summer long. But that is not all that we are looking for here at LakePoint Sports this summer. We have teamed up with Johnsonville to bring you an opportunity here to tell us all about those highlights, that's positive actions, good sportsmanship, and selfless acts associated with youth sports. Any and everyone is encouraged to share these moments, so whether you are the one who spotted the activity, the one performing the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there is something in it for everyone, and Johnsonville just might reward you for your behavior and or participation. So use the QR code for more information on how you can make a submission, or head on over to LakePointSports.com or any of our social media channels on how you can access the submission form. To give you an example of what we're looking for, here's East Cobb Astros Connor Adams and TGD backs Tristan Blaylock in a moment that underscores that you should always respect your opponent. Moment of sportsmanship there. So again, head on over to LakePointSports.com or hit up any of our social media channels, and you can access that submission form and be part of Johnsonville's push to keep the internet juicy. Now, we are currently in the midst of the 15U National Championship. We just wrapped up last week the 16U group and had some impressive players who were playing up a division. That included Lash Henderson, the #1 player in the class of 2027, playing for USA Prime National out of Texas, and I had a chance to catch up with Henderson when he was here on campus. Say hello to Lash Henderson, the #1 player in the nation in 2027 out of Prestonwood Christian in Texas. Lash, man, appreciate you taking the time.
No, thank you for having me.
Gets no better than #1. Tell me what you're doing on the daily to kind of make sure, one, that you stay in that spot, but that you get better on a daily basis.
Yeah, just hitting every day. Like, it's good to have that #1, but in the end, it's not my end goal. I'm trying to make it to the next level, so I got to work every day.
Tell me a little bit about the game. My colleague Shooter Hunt talks about the upside with you, the hit tool, the power potential. Who do you think you are as a player?
I think I'm a 4 or 5 tool player. I can run, I can hit, the power, and I think I can field. But yeah, I think I'm 5 tool.
On this roster, you got Chase Fuller, the #2 player in the nation, Landon Green, another top 10 guy. There's not a lot of players who can really understand what you're going through at this stage in the recruiting process, the attention, all that stuff. Those guys can. What's it like to kind of share that with them?
Yeah, I get to learn a lot from them, being high up in the class. We have a lot of knowledge that we can share with each other, and we get to really push each other to be the best.
Do you guys kind of get this understanding that you're going to be going through this journey together for the next couple of years, like kind of all the craziness? Obviously, everything's going to be building eventually towards the draft and signing day and all that stuff. And do you guys kind of get that sense that we're going to go through this together?
Yeah, we do. That's why we push each other every day. We're trying to be the best come draft day or when we go to college, because you only get one chance. So, yeah.
Your dad, Michael, as a college football official, I bet that gives you a different understanding when it comes to players. Can be hard on umpires.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're a little bit different than maybe other guys are because you have that respect for it because of what he does?
Yeah, I try to go light on sometimes on the umpires. I really try to affect the game myself. Sometimes I get a bad call, just step out the box, breathe, think, and get back to it.
Do you tell your teammates when they're kind of starting to chatter a little bit? Are you kind of telling them, hey, calm down a little bit, understand what this guy's job is?
Yeah, they're going to calm down a little bit, get back into their feel, and stay on us in the dugout.
When you play in a national team, obviously you're coming from Texas, guys coming from other states. What do you tell them about what the kind of level of play is in high school baseball in Texas?
In Texas, especially in Dallas, I think it's probably unpopular opinion. I think it's probably the best baseball in the country. So, yeah, it's a lot of competition down there. We get to see a lot of good arms, good teams, and there's great coaches down there.
Being a bigger guy, I'm interested to know who influenced you as a player coming up. Like, who were those guys that you had to go watch and the ones that you kind of picked pieces of their game when you were getting better as a younger player?
I liked watching Bryce Harper because he was big his whole life. I got to watch his stories on YouTube and how he grew up, and it was really inspiring.
Like, all the young guys love Bryce Harper. They love the energy, they love the way he plays. I mean, it just seems to be like, that's the first guy that comes on everybody's list when you're talking about players.
He's got so much energy, and he's got controversy, but he's a great player.
Well, you stay out of the controversy stuff. You can do the great player stuff, but we don't need that. All right, I want to see a little bit of you in action, so let's get that bat in your hand and have you take us through your setup. Sound good?
Yes, sir. I like to get in the box and take a deep breath to stay calm. Then I get shoulders width apart, get a little low. And then when the pitcher breaks his hands, I get a little low and toe tap. And then I'm trying to take the ball to right field with a fastball. And if I catch a changeup or a curveball out front, hopefully it'll go left field, pull side.
Lash, man, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. If you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and you'll get so much more happening here on campus. Henderson, most certainly a name you'll need to know over these next few years as you watch high school baseball, travel baseball, and of course those MLB draft prospects. Now, another name everybody knows here in Georgia, and another one building his cachet nationally, is Harry Chubb Jones Jr. from McCartney High School, the #2 player in the state of Georgia in the class of 2027. And our own Grayson Rosen win extra bases with the Motor City Hit Dogs two-way.
Today we're going extra bases with Harry Jones Jr., also known as Chubb, from Motor City Hit Dogs, McCartney High School as well. He's a two-way player in the class of 2027, the number 18 player in the nation, the #2 player in Georgia. How you doing today, Harry?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and start right now. You've been impressing on the field for years and years now, but at Top Prospect Games a couple of weeks ago, you caught the eye of Shooter Hunt, our VP of Scouting for Prep Baseball. Kind of talk us through what it's like stepping on the field knowing that the eyes are on you at all times.
Sometimes it's nerve-wracking, stepping on the field and having so many eyes on you. To be able to prevail through that, making sure I get prepared right, making sure during my BP rounds I'm working on the same things, making sure that my feet are moving, making sure I'm just ready to play.
Yeah, and kind of a lot of that probably goes to the fact that you're a two-way player, so you got to prove it at the plate, in the field, and on the mound. You're pitching a lot. Here, we'll stop right here, finish this question. So you're in the lineup every day. What are you doing to prepare your body with that added strain of hopping on the mound every now and then?
I just make sure I stretch well. I usually jog the center field, make sure I get a whole bunch of stretches in, make sure I feel good, especially on the run back, making sure how my legs feel, and whenever I'm in the cages, I make sure that I'm warming up my back, making sure I have, complete control over my body. So when I get on the mound, I make sure that nothing has a probable chance of straining or anything like that.
That's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and start the sprint to second base here. Wood bats or metal bats?
Wood.
Wood bats, okay. What's the top song on the playlist right now? It's a tough question, I know.
I would have to say Lose It by King Carson.
Okay. Love that. What's the best meal that you can cook?
Chicken and smoked sausage Alfredo.
Okay. Very different. Who's your favorite athlete growing up?
I would say Ken Griffey Jr.
Gotcha. And who's your favorite active MLB player right now?
Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson. Love the answer. Local kid. And our final question here to round it all out. What was it like, that moment that you hit 90 miles per hour for the first time on the mound?
It was great, being able to finally accomplish that, being in the 90 group, you know, a lot of pitching and a lot of hard work. You know, it was nice to see it on the board.
All right, well, he hasn't just hit 90 on the mound. He hits it in the field as well. Led top prospect games in outfield and infield velo. So Harry Jones is going to be throwing hard on any diamond. It might be one near you. Thank you for doing this today, man. We appreciate it.
Plate meeting here is, again, we're going to have building champions against Canes Midwest going for the 15U National Championship here at LakePoint Sports Baseball Village and the Audi Marietta Championship Field. Cory McCartney now joined by Avery Hunt from Prep Baseball Georgia. Two teams that have been awfully dominant. Man, we saw some insane semifinal games, Avery. Canes Midwest winning in a walk-off off the bat of Liam Delp. Building champions comes back from a 6-1 deficit. They end up getting a grand slam from Drew Pittman to kind of cap off a 6-run inning for them as they end up winning 12-6. And I don't know about you, but I was getting a little bit worried there about extra innings. We had that during the 16U event. It ended up delaying our day a little bit there before we ended up getting the championship game out of the way. But, man, those were some exciting finishes, and I think it sets the tone for what could be a really great matchup here.
Absolutely. I mean, both of those semifinal matchups were close ball games throughout. Like you were saying, building champions had to kind of fight their way back in it after falling down early, and the big bottom half of the sixth inning that they had with the grand slam and a couple more big hits to get them into this game. And then, you know, Canes Midwest was down 2-0, it felt like, the entire game, and then all of a sudden the last couple innings were able to put 2 up and then start a little bit of a rally once they got into the 6-4-3's bullpen and, you know, were able to walk it off there in the bottom half of the 7th inning. I think I was talking to a few of their parents there. You know, I was asking, it's like, you guys just really like playing close ball games. They played 2 really close ones yesterday, and our first stage of bracket play before we got to our semis in the champ. So, yeah, it should be a really good matchup here. Two teams that swing it really well, big physical teams that, you know, have pitched well all week and have obviously, you know, just watching those first few games, were able to swing it, you know, 1 through 9.
Yeah, two teams also that have gone undefeated so far in this event. You know, Dirtbags National was another really dominant team that we saw, but they ended up falling to Canes Midwest there. To Building Champions in the semifinals. 6-4-3 DP played against Canes Midwest. But these two teams have been awfully dominant to this point. Looks like we're going to see Spencer Beltram is going to be on the mound for Building Champions to start things off here. Right-hander out of Staley High School in Missouri. So still waiting to get our hands on the lineups for this one. One of the, I guess, pitfalls of us doing these games is you basically have a 20 to 25 minute turnover from the semifinals of the championship games, and that's not a lot of time for these coaches to figure out how they're going to get their squads out there and certainly figure out pitching, which is, I think, always the thing you're watching when we get to these events and this late in these events is how these teams are going to handle it with their arms.
Absolutely. I mean, just with the length of this event and the amount of games, I mean, this is both these teams' 5th game in the last 2 days. You know, just trying to, you know, find that pitching depth, and when your pitching isn't, you know, you get down to some position guys throwing, you got to rely on the offense. So it takes a full team effort to win one of these, and we've seen both of these guys do a really good job so far. So see if they can kind of keep it up here in the last one of the week before we get started with our next event tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go from this into the 14-13U run of things, and then we'll have the 17Us, Southeast Super Select kind of mixed in there before we head on over to the feature game. So we've talked about it on every one of these broadcasts, but it's nonstop, and this is certainly the time of the year where it feels like it's Groundhog Day for us here at LakePoint Sports. Again, we have Beltram on the mound for Building Champions to start things off. And leading things off for Canes Midwest is going to be Tyler Fryman, Louisville commit, the #1 player. Among outfielders in Kentucky, number 5 overall, 51st ranked outfielder in the nation, 223 overall, 6 foot, 170 pounder. Watch this in for a strike. Once again, United umpires willing and able to wear these GoPros for us behind the plate. So it's been some really great footage that we've gotten. Last week, we had Landon Green, the #1 right-hander in the nation in 2027, rip off 5 straight at 95 mile an hour to start off his outing there. So that was some really cool footage that we were able to share on our social channels. Fryman belts that one foul. I love it, too, because these guys are willing to put their work out there. And, of course, everybody's a critic when it comes to umpires on social media, so we give them fodder for it. But we are thankful for United Umpires and Todd Marler and all of his crew for their willingness to be part of this and help us out content-wise. Fryman dribbles that one. First gathers himself on the run, able to beat him to the bag for the first out.
Yeah, those guys do a great job. We're super thankful for them and all that they do. And like you said, everybody on the internet thinks that they know the strike zone better than the guy that's back there. And I'm sure if you walk around LakePoint for an inning or two, you'll hear some more people that are in person that disagree with balls and strikes. So
the scoreboard currently says, in terms of who's batting now, Muzzy. This is Cash Mosladowski. MocyDlowsky, middle infielder from Huron High School in Missouri. Fittingly goes by Muzzy. Sends that one down the third baseline. Third baseman's on the run.
Looks like he's looks just outside of camera there, but looks like he got it for the out.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of hesitation there with the batter running with his bat to see, but Muzzy goes down off the pop out, and there's now 2 out in the inning. We have a question here.
Yeah, all 4 umpires going to come together just to make sure that we get this one right, especially early in this championship game.
Yeah, typically we'll have 2-man umpire crews, but obviously we had 2 semifinal games to bring everybody together to get a 4-man crew for the championship game. And this one, like every championship game we play here, I'll go 7 innings unless it's a run rule. So you get the full bore experience here. And going through the umpire clinics with these guys last summer and how they kind of figure out responsibilities in a 2-man crew and then in a 3, and I know this is a bit of a luxury for them to get all 4 of them out there like that.
Absolutely. There's different mechanics and different rotations in each, set. So you're 2, 3, and 4. So these guys and girls are well versed in the 4-man. A lot of the crew we have here today does some college baseball and into the college or maybe a little bit of pro stuff when needed. So
yeah, I think you really underscore something. This is Abram Howard, by the way, from George Rogers High School in Kentucky at the plate right now. I think you really underscore something that I don't know that everyone appreciates when it comes to the level of umpiring that we have here. When you go to a rec tournament, when you go to a different company's tournament, you may be getting guys who umpire events on the weekend. They're making a few bucks per game. We've got guys that are doing it at this level, and then they're going off and doing it at the collegiate level. Some of them, of course, even have aspirations to do it at the major league level. But we're getting some real high-level umpiring work that comes here. And you may not like every call, but it's really hard to argue with these guys' credentials.
Absolutely, and like I tell people all the time, these guys are human too. They're not perfect, and they're not going to get everything correct. But Todd Marler and those guys do a good job of developing guys and getting guys opportunities beyond, high school and the travel ball ranks. So, so it's really good thing that we are able to have, crews out here that have worked, in college baseball and even some in the pro baseball ranks.
So Abram Howard, number 11 player in Kentucky, draws a 2-out walk, and now we'll turn things over to Drew Squires from Greene County High School in Kentucky, 17th ranked player in that state. He was here last summer for the Junior Feature Games. Yeah, Canes Midwest really been one of the dominant teams throughout this last week, and I think there was an expectation among them that they were going to be to this level. These are guys that felt like last year they really gelled a lot. Talking to Liam Delp, I had some fun with Liam. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Had him mic'd up for an in-game talk back, but a couple days ago, and he just kind of talked about the chemistry among this group. And runners on the run. Throw is not in time as it takes him off the bag a little bit. This is a group that I think feels like they've been building towards something, and certainly an opportunity here for them to, after a walk-off win in the semis, to finish the job and walk away as champions. But again, building champions, no slouch. You got a really talented crew, and again, they had to really turn it on to take out 6'4" 3DP, a team that ended up winning National Program Invitational. Mm-hmm. So that was a really strong group that they had to get through in order to get to the championship game.
Yeah, just talking about Canes Midwest, you can kind of, if you're just around the ballpark when they're playing, I think speaking of that chemistry, I mean, it kind of starts with their coaching staff. Very upbeat guys, keeping the guys in it. I was talking to some parents and stuff earlier yesterday, and it's like, yeah, we haven't been home in 17 or 18 days. We were here for the MPI, bounced over to another event, and now we're back here in the last day. So, when you spend that much time with a group of people every day,
Yeah.
I mean, you're bound to build some chemistry, and so they do a really good job there, just playing together and playing as a team.
So Howard finds himself at second base, 2-1 count to Squires. Delivers, rips that one down the left side through the third baseman. Shortstop gathers, throws in time for the out. So get out of it, strand a runner. Continue. You are watching the 15U National Championship Final from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard? Front yard. Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. You are watching the 15U National Championship Final between Building Champions and Canes Midwest as we watch the warm-up throws here. Let's go ahead and take you through the lineups, which are a little late arriving for us today, but we were able to piece these together and give you a sense of how these teams are trotting out here as they vie for this championship. Building Champions Navy will lead off with Grant Westfall, the left fielder. Andrew Maltzby, the DH, will hit second. Warren Robertson, extra hitter, hitting third. Carter Taldo will hit fourth. Cameron Miller, the third baseman, hitting fifth. Drew Pittman hits sixth. JT Moreland, the catcher, will hit seventh. Parker Jenkins, the first baseman, hit eighth. Cooper Kenny, the second baseman, hit ninth. And Cohen Lilly, the right fielder. You've already seen Spencer Beltram on the mound for them. Canes Midwest National led off with Tyler Fryman, Asher Wagner, and Cash Muzzy Mosladowski, DH. Abram Howard, who you already saw, along with Drew Squires. And then when we see him again, we'll see Carson Lethauser, the extra hitter. Rocco Bucci, the pitcher. When you see him on the mound warming up behind the graphic. Noah Spalding, the first baseman, hitting eighth. Griffin Bozen, the right fielder, hitting ninth. Liam Delp, third baseman, hitting 10th. And Brendan Schaefer behind the plate for Canes Midwest National. So Rocco Bucci mentioned he will be on the mound for Canes Midwest. Rocco from Olentangy High School in Ohio. Dad Chad is the men's golf coach at Ohio Northern University in Ada, Ohio. Saw him wearing all Ohio Northern gear the other day and had a chance to talk to him. Pretty close stone's throw away from my native area of Ohio, so I was excited to see those polar bear logos and talk to him a little bit. Make a long trek living outside the Columbus area in Olentangy for him for work in Ada, and then to get Rocco over to play baseball for Canes Midwest. But they really like this program. Rocco, 5'8", 160-pounder. See how he starts off against Grant Westfall. Grant Westfall, and absolutely a name you need to know, the #1 player in Kansas in 2027. 5th-ranked outfielder in the nation, 16th overall. Center for a strike. Our own Riley Klingman caught up with Grant earlier this weekend for an interview that we'll share across our social channels in the coming days. 6'2", 185-pounder out of Blue Valley High School in Kansas. I know prep baseball has a really strong foothold in that part of the country, and you go back to, the Illinois roots of the company, but it just seems like Kansas and Missouri just produce dudes. It's just like, the amount of high-level players that come out of those states is just mind-numbing, and I know that the crews there, the scouting departments there do a great job of finding guys. But, man, it just seems like every year when we're talking about guys who do well in the feature games, guys who we see performing well in our events, Kansas and Missouri just pop out time after time.
Absolutely. I mean, you look last week in our 16U national championship, you had a team from the Midwest win with the Indiana Bulls, and now two teams that are from that part of the country battling it out here for our 15U event. So.
Yeah, look, we spent a lot of time, obviously, here in Georgia talking about the luxuries and the advantages that guys have in these warm weather states. When we get to play pretty much year round, it's interesting to watch these kids from these other parts of the countries come down here and be like, yeah, we've got something to say about that.
Absolutely.
Got a 1-2 count to Westfall. Leaves that one alone. And Westfall going to be followed by Andrew Maltzby. Flicks that away to keep the count alive. And neither one of these teams have been on the losing end of a game since arriving here at LakePoint Sports last Wednesday. And I don't know that you really could have asked for much more excitement than these teams gave us in the semifinals to get to this point as Westfall sends that one foul. Again, Canes Midwest winning in a walk-off. Building champions trailing 6-2 to Dirtbags National, ended up winning 12-6. And, watching the 6-4-3 players and, kind of just peeking my head around this, keep tabs on those games, and you kind of just saw the body language from those guys after that Grand Slam kind of told you everything. They were winning in that game, and then just end up watching that one slip away from them.
See the smile at the plate on this 10-pitch at bat as we just keep spoiling 2-strike pitches on to field 9.
Yeah, Westfall doing a great job of rising up that pitch count for Rocco Bucci. Oh, swing and a miss. Can't lay off the high inside pitch there, and one goes down on strikes. Nice job of battling back there from Bucci. Pretty much showed him everything he had, so he goes with a little bit of off speed up in the zone, and Westfall unable to lay off of it, and we got one down.
Even though that at bat ends in a strikeout, if you're building champions, you can't ask just about for anything else more productive of an out than, go up there, show everybody in the dugout everything he's got, so when they go up, they have a plan of trying to attack, and he's not going to show them something they hadn't seen in their first at bat.
So we go from one highly touted building champions bat to another one. It says Andrew Maltzby rips that one a short, gathers throws in time, so down goes Maltzby, who is the number 2 catcher in Missouri, 7th overall in the class. For Maltzby here is Warren Robertson. Robertson from Rockhurst High School, 19th ranked player in Missouri. Maltzby's got some words of encouragement there for him, telling him what he saw in that AB. Robertson 6'2", 190. It's in for a strike. Logan Nelson taking his spot there as he gets in, get the bird's eye view.
Just got to start pulling the camera from the GoPro just straight to our Twitter
That's
and your
true,
Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got to get the GoPro that has the transmission on it. Oh, it just misses. Rocco thought he had that one for the ending K. Instead, gonna have to deliver another pitch. Thought he was gonna get the caught looking there for the 3rd strike. Gonna come back with a 1-2. Gets it that time. He was just testing out the celebration the first time around, so gets another strikeout. We are through one in the 15U National Championship Final from LakePoint Sports. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Next. Next. Stop.
We got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
We are back from LakePoint Sports, the second inning of the 15U National Championship Final between Canes Midwest and building champions Cory McCartney, along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. Carson Luthauser at the plate now for Canes Midwest, and continue with Spencer Beltram on the mound. Oh, Luthauser got to show some gymnastic abilities, get out of the way of that one. Luthauser, sorry.
That's always fun as a hitter to have to bend yourself backwards to get out of the second pitch you've seen in the ball game. So.
See what he does on the 2-0. Gets a hold of it that time in the right direction. Sends that one to left field for our first hit of the game. So Carson Luthauser, the 5th-ranked player in Missouri, getting back at a bunch of other Missouri kids as he sends that one into play. 2023 Junior Feature Games alumni. Now here is opposing pitcher Rocco Bucci. Shows bunt, pulls back.
Canes Midwest, a team that's not afraid to play a little bit of small ball, can obviously, hit the ball with power gap to gap and over the fence, but also, are willing to get bunts down to move guys over.
Gets the bunt down, but that one goes foul. So for those who have watched our previous broadcast, the exit velo on a bunt is 17.6 miles an hour. A ball who hits a guy in his shoulder is 22.6. 1-1 count to Bucci. Lays off, runs it to 2-1. Be followed in the order by Noah Spalding and then Griffin Bozen. Shows bunt again. That one goes foul.
You can see him telling the guy on deck circle's got a little arm side run, kind of running away from him a little bit. So just trying to pass along the message so everybody's prepared for what they're about to see.
Comes Beltram with the 2-2. Lays off to run it full.
Just left the breaking ball just a little bit out there with a 2-2 count.
Beltram with the payoff pitch. Got a runner at first. So now we'll have him at first and second, still with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Canes Midwest now turning things over to Noah Spalding. Spalding, a Louisville commit out of Marion County High School in Kentucky, 4th-ranked player in Kentucky. Was here in 2022 in the Junior Feature Games.
You can see the whole team going to the towel there, trying to dry off a little bit. Nice nice day, but it's a little humid out, so I'm sure everybody's nice and
lathered,
nice and sweaty.
Having already played one game today. Sun peeking out now. Was getting a little bit cloudy, but getting a little bit brighter as we move along here and get close to noon. Noah Spalding, 6'2", 230 pounds. Righty pitcher and third baseman. Got a chance here. Runners at first and second. Gets him to strike in the corner. Had 6'4" DP, as I mentioned, playing in the semifinals, coming in with a massive roster. These teams that had to travel a little bit more don't necessarily have as many players, and you really have to think, when they've played so many games in the week, what are we going to see happen from the pitching department? So we'll see how long these two starters are able to go. Gets another strike in the outside corner.
Mound visit there just to kind of calm him down, kind of settle him, let him get back in rhythm, and it's showed to pay off here as he's went first pitch fastball for a strike and then followed it with a nice breaking ball right there on the outer half.
He's got Spalding in the palm of his hand here, an 0-2 count. Runners at first and second. Back to that same spot with a breaking ball, but makes it 1-2. Moment here with a big bat at the plate for Canes Midwest to try to cash in. Skies that one. If you were to go back and redesign these scout towers, would they have like foam roofs on them for something? Because there's nothing, it gets you every single time when a foul ball comes up and smacks that roof.
It's always good, especially late at night when you've been here for a while and you're kind of zoned out a little bit, and then one hits the top of the tower and you almost jump out of the tower because it catches you so off guard. I think I've done it long enough that I'm kind of just accustomed to it. But people that come in for a week or two, like they'll sit there and be, getting some scouting work in or whatever it may be, and one hits the roof and they almost jump out of the chair, and it's just.
Spalding rips that to the short, gathers, throws the second in time for one out, throws the first for the other. Spalding grounds into a double play, but we're going to have a runner 90 feet away from home as Griffin Bozen comes to the plate for Canes Midwest. Nice job there at short. Get things started for Building Champions.
Hit that ball hard, just hit it right at the shortstop for a tailor-made double play ball.
Griffin Bozen from IMG Academy. He was here last summer for the junior feature game, 6'2", 180-pounder. Few players on that field probably see high-level pitching as much as Bozen gets to see it playing down there in Florida for IMG Academy.
Absolutely. Their spring schedule every year is just about as tough as you're going to find.
Oh, that's him for a strike. Yeah, we had them here for high school select a couple of years ago, and I mean, it's it's like watching a college team.
Absolutely. So much talent on that roster from top to bottom, especially I remember a few years ago, and just the guys that they rolled out that are now in certain minor league systems.
Bozen rips that one into center field, bounces for a run-scoring single. So Canes Midwest now lead 1-0 here in the top of the second. Nice job there, 91 off the bat as he just rips that into center field for a run-scoring single. And here is Liam Delp. Delp, the 7th-ranked player in Indiana in the class, 31st ranked shortstop. He's playing third base today. Tells me he sees himself as a utility guy, can literally play anywhere, gets on the mound, loves to catch, but hasn't gotten to do that in quite some time. He's in for a strike.
It's always a good skill set to have, especially as you kind of move to the college and pro ranks. If you can play multiple positions, there's more opportunities for you to get on the field. And, as everybody says, if you can hit, you can find a way.
Right.
And, if you're able to play multi-positions, then that definitely benefits guys as they move forward.
Ball gets away, and the back pick throw to first. They're going to have a runner at second. Yeah, Delp caught our attention last summer. He was part of the Indiana Junior Feature Games team that ended up winning it all. In the championship game, he had the walk-off moment, tried to steal third base, throw went past the third baseman, and he just kept trucking on his way into home and set off the dog pile as Indiana celebrated that Junior Feature Games championship.
Unfortunately, that was against Team Georgia, so
I didn't want to bring that part of it up.
If you couldn't tell, still a little disappointed that we lost that one, but yeah, that was a fun game, a fun event to be a part of, and that Indiana team was a really good ball club. So,
yeah, really excited for everybody to see this live in-game talkback that we did with Liam. He was a lot of fun playing third base and ended up getting a hit in his AB that we had him for, and just a great personality. So I'm excited to share that with everybody a little bit later this week. Part of a Mooresville High School, Indiana team that included the Gatorade Indiana Player of the Year, Denny Hogan, who we had here for Feature Games a couple years ago. Their championship game, by the way, we talk about him being on the right end of a walk-off in the Feature Games. He played in a 12-inning, 3-hour and 46-minute state final, which was a record in Indiana, which they lost on a walk-off walk.
Oh.
Watches the 0-2 get away from the catcher, and runners on his way into third in time. So an overthrow at first base gets him to second, and now a wild pitch has him on third as Canes Midwest are that much closer to a second run with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Should Delp get on, he will be followed by Brennan Schaefer.
Fastball just missed the outer half there.
Comes Beltram with a 2-2 to Delp. He's got a hold of this one, rips it into the left field. Here comes one more run for Canes Midwest as Delp rounds first, comes back. We've got a 2-0 lead here in the top of the second. Oh, Delp gets away, another missed throw. He's going to be standing on second, kind of showing off that speed that he says is in the 6.7s. He's got a little dance in there he's going to show us.
You see just the wide turn at first, just pushing it to the glove in the outfield, and shortstop comes up, tries to back pick him at first there, and short hops the first baseman, and it slides all the way to the fence and gets a free base out of it. So just like you were saying, that speed on display, putting pressure on the defense.
Now, you said it a while ago, this Canes Midwest team, they can slug with you, but they're a team that has really done extremely well getting things done via small ball, and we're seeing that right now. We're going to have a pitching change here already for Building Champions, trailing 2-0 here in the top of the second. See, as soon as we get this number, we'll be able to tell you who we're got on the mound for Building Champions. Number 11, Jamison Rice. Rice, 6'2", 160-pounder from Olathe South High School. Showing mid to high 70s here in the warm-ups. Brennan Schaefer will be at the plate. 2 down here on the top of the second. Got a runner at second on the form of Liam Delp, and a 2-0 lead for Canes Midwest. Brennan Schaefer, batter, 2023 Junior Feature Games participant from Kenton Ridge High School in Ohio. My high school, Kenton Ridge High School he plays for was in the same conference as my high school growing up, the Central Buckeye Conference. Much as that one sail high.
I have to ask, how many teams are in per conference in Ohio?
I think there's 12 teams in the Central Buckeye Conference. Actually, make me look that up now.
Fouls this pitch off. Got a piece of everybody, it seems, catcher and the umpire.
12 teams.
Gotcha.
My high school, among those still stuck in the Bell Fountain Chieftains. Most of the teams area we grew up in was Indian land, so most of the teams up there do have Indian names. One count. That's his down low, runs it to 2-1. See how aggressive Delp gets over there on his way to third. Told me he's got goals of getting that 60 times somewhere down in the 6-4s over the next couple years. Dribbler off his leg.
He's got a good start, and if you can get down the 6-4s, that's moving for just about anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he told me, you know, at his size and with the kind of all over the place skill set, he wants to have a level of speed that kind of makes it undeniable. Two count. Sends that one back foul. Yeah, those in-game talkbacks have become a lot of fun. We've been trying to work through some technical things with them. I think we finally got everything mapped out. It's a lot of moving parts when you're trying to talk to a guy while he's out on the field. I know ESPN makes it look really easy, but there's a lot of moving parts that we have included in that. Schaefer skies that. Shortstop on the run. First baseman calls them all off. He's got it out of the inning, but Canes Midwest have a 2-0 lead. We will be back from LakePoint Sports.
Where's it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage. And keep it juicy.
Boogie, woogie, jam, slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty mic.
Are back at LakePoint Sports. Rocco Bucci still on the mound for Canes Midwest here after a little bit of a layoff in the top of the second inning. His team has a 2-0 lead. Cory McCartney joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. This inning we will see Carter Taldo lead things off for Building Champions, followed by Cameron Miller and Drew Pittman.
Saw a little bit of a pull down there in between innings, and the guy they have out catching while their catcher gets all of his gear on wanted no part of the first pitch that was thrown in there. He just flinched and kind of didn't move and pray it didn't hit him. So that's always good when guys are out there trying to catch people up, and it's like, I don't have gear on. I'm not in the mood for all that.
Well, that was Carter Luthhauser that came out and was a pseudo catcher for a minute, but he'll turn things over to Brennan Schaefer again behind the mound with Rocco Bucci on the mound, behind the plate. Comes Bucci's final warm-up pitch. This will be Carter Taldo, again followed by Cameron Miller and Drew Pittman. Taldo, the 11th ranked player in Kansas out of Olathe West High School, 4th ranked outfielder in the state. Canes Midwest looking for a shutdown inning after taking a 2-0 lead in the top of the second. First pitch swinging, sends that to short, gathers on the run, throws in time for the first out. Nice pick at first base from Noah Spalding. Taldo goes down on one pitch, and now here is Cameron Miller. Miller from Nixa High School in Missouri. He's the 8th ranked player in Missouri, 6'2", 170-pounder. Another miss. And another runs it to 3-0. Gives him the high strike. So 1-out walk. Some people with some food in the background. I believe they have half-price wings on Wednesdays at the Champions Grill.
Oh, is that maybe so?
My son partook last week and told me they were bussin'. So in case you were, yeah, that's the official review of the wings from Champions Grill. They are bussin'. Drew Pittman, who hit a grand slam in the semifinals. Pittman, 13th ranked player in Missouri, or Kansas, excuse me. Blue Valley Southwest High School in Kansas. It's in for a strike. Comes the 0-1. A swing and a miss. See photographer BJ there standing in the background with camera in hand, former Dallas Cowboy. It's 0-2, misses high. One, two, sends that one to short, throws a second for 1 out, back to first. In time for the double play. Canes Midwest get out of it. They lead 2-0 after 2. We're going to have a pitching change for Prep Baseball Georgia. Ian Smith will join us. Avery, great job as always, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Sports, you are watching the 15U National Championship Final between Canes Midwest and Building Champions. 2-0 lead for Canes Midwest as we move to the third inning. Now joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith, taking over for Avery Hunt. Ian, man, good to have you in as always. And you're wearing black again. We talk about this. It's hot outside in Georgia, and you're wearing black again.
I can't help myself. I don't know. I have like a schedule of outfits I wear every week here because I feel like this is where I live. So if I ruin too many clothes, I'll hate myself. So I try to keep a nice little roster of outfits to wear here every week. But it turns out most of them are black, so that's my own fault.
This is Tyler Fryman leading things off for Canes Midwest, the leadoff man. So we're back to the top of the order. He will be followed by Asher Wagner and Cash Modladowski.
Good breaking ball there.
And Jamison Rice again on the mound for Building Champions.
Good pitch there, 1-1.
Yeah, Building Champions, we know these guys, you know, bring in high-level elite talent every time they step here on campus. This team is loaded. I mean, you think about Grant Westfall, the #1 player in Kansas. It's just on and on with the highly ranked players they've got as Fryman skies out to right field for the first out.
Yeah, I think Westfall might be one of my favorite players I've seen this week. He stood out in every look. I've sat in on about 12 ABs this week. Last game in the semifinals, he was putting pressure on the defense the entire game. He had 2 sub-12-second triples, sub-4-1 down the line on an infield single, and then a sac fly as well. So he was doing damage the entire game, and it's impressive to see with that frame and the tools he has. There's a lot to love there.
What do you have, a 10, 11 pitch at bat?
Yeah,
in his first
opened up the game with a 10 pitch at bat. You know, great 2-strike approach. Going to find the barrel. He was fouling off pitch 8 and 9 and smiling, just knowing he's going to get his pitch next. He's walking in the at bats with a plan, and it's coming through.
Asher Wagner watches that miss outside, 7th ranked outfielder in the nation. Excuse me, in Indiana, 35th overall.
Good swing there.
Yeah, gets hold of that, sends that into center field, got him on the run, dives.
Talking Grant Westfall. Did he make that play?
Did make that play. Diving catch. Man, he was on the run, absolutely extended out. Great defensive play from Grant Westfall in center field.
What a showing this week for Westfall, man. Just checking boxes every which way. I mentioned tools on tools on the last tweet. I just tweeted about 5 minutes ago, so he's showing out instantly.
This is Cash Modladowski. Now he goes by Muzzy, but we're gonna try to say that mouthful of a last name.
It's tough.
That's right.
He's had a great week.
Good eye.
Good eye there. Hitters count here, looking for something to drive. Canes Midwest playing really well this week. 2-0 lead here in the third and looking to expand it. Out in front a bit there.
Yeah, third on the run, throws in time. Nice stretch at first. Oh, he's going to be safe.
Great play, though, from Cameron Miller there at third. Really charging that ball, making a good throw. Just really good running from Muzzy there.
So he'll turn things over to Abram Howard, 11th ranked player in Kentucky at George Rogers Clark High School. Had a great gift that we posted yesterday of a double celebration from Abram.
I should believe this is Drew Squires here. I don't know what had happened. Not bad.
Oh, it says Drew Squires. Apologies.
Good eye there, leaving that.
Yeah, I think our scoreboard got a little squirrely on us. Well, nonetheless, Drew Squires, 17th ranked player in Kentucky at a Greene County High School. Was here last summer for the Junior Feature Games. Rice with a 2-0.
Good eye there.
Run at 3-0. That towel is going to get gross by the end of the game there behind the mound. It's getting hotter and hotter as the day goes. May have a little bit of rain coming in. We'll see if we can get this one in before anything falls.
Yeah, it was only calling for about 8% this morning, but you know how quickly that can change here in the middle of the summer. So,
yeah, it looks like over the next week there's a growing chance of rain almost every day as I guess you're going to get the remnants from that tropical storm that's coming up through Florida.
We've had a good few weeks. Really good breeze yesterday, which was thankful after a couple really hot couple weeks. Big swing there, 3-1. Full count now here for Squires.
Maybe for a second that might have got a piece of the catcher. Hit him on the leg, I think. So full count to Squires, who will be followed by Carson Luthauser.
This Canes Midwest team who had a really good showing last week in Hoover, at Hoover, and then turn around and come right here and perform as well. And back-to-back tournaments is huge, especially in this weather. From a team that's primarily Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, they're not really yet used to 90+ at 8 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
So it's a grind for these guys. They had to win 3 games yesterday as well. So it's impressive to see these Midwest teams continue to produce in the national championships. Last week we had the Indiana Bulls black team win the 16s, and now either one of these teams from the Midwest today going to take home a championship here in 15U.
Yeah, the Canes Midwest, as you mentioned, largely players from Indiana. Maybe they'll celebrate. Maybe they'll all get to get some proclamation from the governor there with all these national champions coming out of Indiana. So
love that. Good pitch there.
So this is Carson Luthauser. Luthauser, 5th-ranked player in Missouri. The back of some other Missouri kids here. He's facing largely a roster of kids out of Missouri. A few sprinkled in from Kansas.
Big pitch here.
Yeah, Rice with the 1-1. Right back at him.
Gets
Gloves.
Roll over. And
throws the first in time. Get out of it. Strands 2. Canes Midwest, though, lead 2-0. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Midwest continues to lead 2-0 here in the 15U National Championship Final here from the Baseball Village at LakePoint Sports. This action on the Audi Marietta Fields. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith. Rocco Bucci still on the mound for Canes Midwest. He's kept the building champions off the scoreboard and largely off the base pass so far. I think JT Moorhead is going to lead things off for building champions. Will be followed by Parker Jenkins and Cooper Kenny.
Leaves that high fastball there.
Misses to run it to 2-0. There's 28 pitches for Bucci so far here as we enter the bottom of the 3rd. Our friend the Wasp has made his return here inside the studio.
Yeah, we love him.
Need a pest control sponsor here as he skies that one. Looks like he's out. The camera didn't exactly track that play, but it looks like he skied out to the outfield, and so it'll be 1 down. And now here's Parker Jenkins. Jenkins from Liberty North High School in Missouri. 6 foot, 185 pounder. Mentioned it earlier in the game, but excited to see this GoPro footage again. That we've got home plate umpire.
Big cut there. Oh.
Yeah, it makes it 1-1.
Yeah, the ump cam's pretty fun. Love going back and seeing that. Always turns out pretty cool.
Yeah, it was neat to see Landon Green firing off 95 miles an hour last week on the first 4 or 5 pitches of the game.
Yeah, that might have been the most impressive first inning I've seen at the 15U level. That's a great piece there.
Yeah, rips that one over top of the shortstop's head. And again, the camera didn't follow the action that time.
It's a surefire hit, though.
Yep. So it'll be 1 on with 1 down. And here is Cooper Kenny. Kenny from Staley High School in Missouri. 5'6", 130 pounder.
Ooh, big swing there.
And that was the first hit for Building Champions here in the game. Finally came in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
They can turn it on quickly, trailing for most of the semifinal game as well.
Yep,
and
sure
then
did.
Put together an 8-run inning in the bottom of the 6th to really close things out for them and move them on to the championship game.
Yeah, trailed 6-2 in that game. A statement of an inning, including a grand slam from Drew Pittman.
First pitch swinging, too, as well. Pull side.
Gucci with the 0-1.
Another big swing. Seeing it well out of the hand, looking for something to barrel here. Some big cuts.
Yeah, Cohen Lilly on the on-deck circle, and then it's back to the top of the order, and Grant Westfall.
Yeah, it's a guy you don't want to pitch to right here. And those guys on.
Yep, so trouble looming for Canes Midwest. See what happens with 1 down, 0-2 count. Misses on the breaking ball. Gucci really wanted that for a strike. It's going to make it 2-2.
Big pitch here. Been taking some aggressive hacks. You can see a big swing here if we get something in the zone.
Steps off.
Walking up here, I saw we had over 1,000 people watching this game on Twitter today, or excuse me, on X, which is great to see. We really appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another big swing.
Yeah, skies that one. Left fielder has got it. It's going to be 2 down.
Saw something on the ground there. Kind of threw me off for a second.
Yeah.
Cohen Lilly here.
Yeah, so Cohen Lilly from Blue Valley Southwest High School in Kansas, 5'10", 145 pounder. Lilly outfielder, right-handed pitcher. Jumps on the first pitch, sends that one foul. Again, should Lilly get on, be back to Grant Westfall on the top of the order and have your hands full with Westfall and Maltzby after him. Missed glove side makes it 1-1.
Looking for a fastball barrel here. Good spot. Just misses.
2-1. It's a big AB for both sides as Building Champions trying to get one of their big guns up to the plate, and Canes Midwest trying to get out of this. It's now 3-1.
Good eye there, 2-1.
Big breath from Bucci. Oh, that's in for a strike. A borderline pitch. It could have gone either way, and it's going to run it full.
That's a good take there. It's something you can't do any damage with. You want to leave that. Great call, or good call for Bucci. Tough call for Lilly.
Lilly had a pitch to give, but now he's got a full count. Lilly steps out.
Quick pick.
Another throw over that got him in a rundown.
Great play there.
Great job defensively, Canes Midwest. Bucci starts the rundown, gets it come through for the out, second base, and Canes Midwest still lead 2-0. We're headed on to the bottom of the third. You are watching the 15U National Championship from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
LakePoint Sports, the top of the fourth inning here in the 15U National Championship final between Canes Midwest and Building Champions. 2-0 lead for Canes Midwest. Cory McCartney along with Ian Smith from Prep Baseball, Georgia. Opposing pitcher Rocco Bucci at the plate, Jamison Rice. Still on the mound for Building Champions. Just got word that Grant Westfall is in left field for Building Champions, so we gave that
credit to the wrong player here.
Credit to the wrong player.
Who do we have in center field here today?
Yeah, I don't know that they had that listed right when we got the roster, who they were going to trot out there. It's one of the pitfalls of us doing these games right after the semifinals. You get about 20 minutes in between. The coaches are scrambling on putting together their lineups, and got a 1-2 count to Bucci, and he will be followed by Noah Spalding and Griffin Bozen.
Living off the breaking ball here.
Great job defensively last half an inning on the mound. Bucci getting a rundown started to get the runner at second base and get out of potential trouble for Canes Midwest.
Good pitch there. Tough call. Full count now.
See what Bucci does on the 3-2.
Skies that straight up. Out of play.
Here he is with the 3-2 dribbler foul.
Some long at-bats today in this game. People are battling, looking for something to drive. Big Noah Spalding on deck. Guys had a really impressive week, both at the plate and on the mound.
Payoff pitch. Sends that one down the right side. First baseman gathers, flips to the pitcher, and gets him for the first out.
Good job covering there by Rice.
Rice runs his PFP drill, and now it's Noah Spalding.
You leave a mistake pitch over the middle here for Spalding. It can go a long way. Wind blowing out the left a slight bit, so get under one, it can carry.
Yeah, the Louisville commit does exactly that. Rips that one in down the left side, and that one is backtrack and gone. Noah Spalding, Ian Smith absolutely Nostradamus over here calls the home run shot, and Noah Spalding extends the Canes Midwest lead to 3-0 with a homer 97.7 off the bat.
Love that. Love that. Got a hanging breaking ball over the middle. Did not miss it. Big time power for Spalding.
Yeah, big player, big moment. 6'2", 230-pounder Louisville commit just roped that one over the left field fence. Left fielder barely even flinched as he watched that one fly on top of him. So 3-0 is the lead for Canes Midwest now, and we'll now see Griffin Bozen.
Yeah, sitting over there getting video earlier. I heard Bozen's had about 10 balls this week, hit over 90 miles an hour. So he's had a really good week this week here at LakePoint. Jumps on the first one there, grounds out to the Cam. Good play by Cam Miller there.
Yeah, good play on both sides. I mean, Canes Midwest has just been a dominant team all event long. Just been able to show you a little bit of everything, getting it done with small ball, and then you just saw their ability to bash there. They've had some great pitching along the way there, so a really talented group.
Yeah, speaking Liam Delp here, I think you believe in the 8-hole.
Yep.
Yeah, had a really good at bat in his first at bat. Took a 2-2 pitch in the left field through the 5-6 hole. Really well struck for an RBI. He came through in the last game with the game-winning hit as well, I believe. They just produce at all levels. Really good.
Delp gets the bunt down. 6'8", is what we had on him for the 60. He told me he runs around 6'7", looking to get that. Like I said before, the goal is around 6'4", 6'5" for him before the high school season career is up. So
I'd imagine that's about 4 seconds on the line there. It could be even better than that. Left-hand or right-handed batter with that type of speed is impressive out of the box.
So we go from Liam Delp to Brendan Schaefer, and one of the things that Delp and I talked about is he has the makeup in the play and the skill set of a leadoff hitter.
Yep.
But as his age as a freshman on a high school team with Denny Hogan, he was batting near a little bit further down in the order there too, and he's hitting obviously down near the bottom of the order here for Canes Midwest. So he says he tries to take that same leadoff hitter mentality and extend that down to where he's at in the order, and now he's done the leadoff hitter's work and getting on with a 2-out bunt single, and now we'll see what he's able to provide here for Brendan Schaefer.
And that's only going to do him wonders as he continues to develop at the high school level and on the travel ball circuit. You carry that leadoff mentality into every at bat, you're gonna get on base a lot more than you expect not to.
Brendan Schaefer skies out to right field, so the inning is over, but Canes Midwest off the bat of Noah Spalding now have a 3-0 lead as we move along in the 15U National Championship Final.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Back to LakePoint Sports, 3-0 is the lead for Canes Midwest as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rocco Bucci going out so far. Shutout fashion for him on the mound, but his team has extended the lead off the bat of Noah Spalding, who hit a absolute solo rocket. Cory McCartney joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith. I mean, you're just talking about the week that Noah Spalding's had. It has not just been at the plate as we just saw. He's been an absolute beast on the mound as well.
Absolutely. He started the first, or came in relief in the first game of the week, struck out 8 3 2/3, and then came out yesterday in a bracket game and threw 5 innings, 5 shutout innings, with 3 strikeouts on just 49 pitches. He's been doing it in every way this week, and it's been an impressive watch. Westfall jumping on the first pitch. First time I've seen him get out in about 8 at-bats, so it's an impressive out there to start the inning for Bucci.
Yeah, that was actually Colin Lilly because he was extending the he was extending the at-bat.
I'm all over the place today.
Yeah, we had Bucci, starting that rundown. So now is Grant Westfall, and he's got 1 down, and he'll be followed by Andrew Maltzby.
Really enjoyed the looks at Maltzby this week as well. Came through with a big hit last game, been really good defensively behind the plate. Somebody our guys in Missouri love a lot.
So first pitch, and Westfall dribbler to second. Tough throw.
Well, I was just early, so Westfall grounds out first pitch swinging just a little bit early on my talk there. So 2 quick outs for Bucci there. 2 pitches.
So here is Maltzby, 7th ranked player in Missouri in the class. Catcher by trade, 20th in the nation. He holds back on that and for a strike.
A lot of first pitch strikes for Bucci in this outing. He's either been fastball, curveball. He's landed both for strikes early, so he's kept his building champions lineup off balance. Tough miss there. Big hanging breaking ball.
This is on the 1-1. He's working fast, too.
Yeah, he knows what he wants to do. I've talked about it a lot. Coming into at-bats with the plan, whether you're on the mound or at the plate, is huge, and it looks like Bucci's been doing that today.
Miss going to make it 3-1. Have Warren Robertson in the on-deck circle.
Robertson just missing a homer last game as well. Took a ball 352 feet to left center, just missing it for an RBI double.
Go with the 3-1. Maltzby absolutely ropes that one into center field.
90 off the bat.
So he's going to be standing at first base for Warren Robertson, the extra hitter.
Good way to extend the inning there for Maltzby. The guy, like I just mentioned, really good bat-to-ball skills, shown out this week. Top of the order type of bat who can really pick it behind the plate as well. Another great pick from Bucci.
I wish the camera would have cut over there because we've seen the rundown,
twice.
and we've seen him with the great pickoff move to first to get out of another inning. 3-0 is the lead for Canes Midwest in the 15U National Championship Final.
Just burgers? It's just boring. Get your sausage on and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Seeing big-time performances on the field in this 15U National Championship event and the final, but that is not all we are looking for this summer. LakePoint Sports is partnering with Johnsonville to highlight positive actions, good sportsmanship, and selfless acts associated with all the youth sports that we love. Any and everyone is encouraged to share these moments, so whether you're the one who spotted the activity, the one performing the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there is something in it for everyone, and Johnsonville might just reward you for your behavior and or participation. So use the QR code for more information on how you can make a submission, or head on over to LakePointSports.com or any of our social media channels to access the submission form. And in a moment that exemplifies the sportsmanship we're looking for, here is Tennessee Nationals' Joseph Sullis tipping his cap after a ridiculous play short from Excel's Cooper Mincy. Back at LakePoint Sports, Canes Midwest leading 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning in our 15U National Championship final. Out goes Ian Smith, and in steps Grayson Rosen, as we've got a 3-0 lead for Canes Midwest. And looks like we're going to continue with Jamison Rice on the mound for Building Champions, and he'll be facing off against Tyler Fryman, the leadoff hitter for Canes Midwest. Will be followed by Asher Wagner and Cash Maslodowski. Fryman grounds out for the first out. Grayson, we've seen some strong pitching from Rocco Bucci, a couple great defensive plays for him. He starts a inning-ending pickle to get the runner at second, and then we just saw a great pickoff move from him to get it out of another inning.
Yeah, he's been stellar throughout this entire game thus far. He looks phenomenal. Everything he's done just seems to be the right move. He's only allowed 2 base runners, I think, this entire game. Yeah. So he is just absolutely firing on all cylinders. But this wouldn't be the first time that we see a team that kind of doesn't have a ton of life going into the later part of this game, and they just explode out of nowhere. So there's definitely still some baseball to watch.
I love that it just says Muzzy on the scoreboard for.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the better things I've seen from Cash Maslodowski. 1-2 count. Again, we got one down. Muzzy will be followed by Abram Howard. Second on the run. Tough throw as his body weight and momentum were carrying him down towards the first base line, but able to make the throw for the second out.
Yeah, that was a beautiful off-balance throw to first base.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen that one messed up quite a few times.
So now it's Abram Howard's turn. Howard 1 for 1. 11th ranked player in Kentucky.
He's the number 5 right-handed pitcher in Kentucky, which is kind of crazy considering he's number 11. There's actually only 2 position players in that top 10. You've got 2 right-handed pitchers that are 1 and 2, and then you've got 2 left-handed pitchers. And then you have another 2 right-handed pitchers in that top 10. It's pretty ridiculous how much pitching talent's coming out of Kentucky in 2027.
Well, Howard part of it, but we have seen him be loud with the bat as well. That's in for a strike. Should he get on, he'll be followed by Drew Squire. Well, that's in for a strike. Makes it 2-2. Sky's the 2-2. Second baseman calls everybody off. He's got it. We are out of the inning, but Canes Midwest still lead 3-0. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Back to LakePoint Sports, Rocco Bucci continuing his strong outing. As he runs out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and his Canes Midwest team leads 3-0 as we move along in the 15U National Championship Final. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. See, we're going to have lead things off for building champions. Going to be Warren Robertson, followed by Carter Taldo and Cameron Miller. We've seen the last 2 innings ending in Rocco Bucci fashion as he was able to get a rundown, started to end one, and a pickoff at first to get the other. Let's see what he's got in store here as he starts things off again against Warren Robertson.
Yeah, what I loved about that pickoff to end the inning is you could see the confidence out of Bucci. He's obviously pitching with confidence, but he picked it off. He looked for a second. He knew he got him out. He was walking off the field real quick. But, yeah, just continues to go to work. Looks great. On the building champions side, this is the part of the lineup that could certainly get things going for you. Just a lot of hitting talent. Oh, looks like Bucci just kind of lost it there. Not sure what happened on that one.
He lost his grip on that one. We've seen him go to the towel a few times, so I'm sure humidity's starting to build a little bit as he tries to get a grip. And he's going to go to the towel in the rosin. Get a bit of a smile on his face as he looks over towards the Canes Midwest bench.
I'm sure the teammates had a couple words to say for him.
I'm sure they did. That makes it 2-1. That's in for a strike.
I'd love to see Warren Robertson get something started here. He's a fantastic player. His numbers are ridiculous, and the biggest number is that max exit velocity of 97.1 that you see on there, and that one sends it up the middle, 80, and that gets it done.
It does get it done. 3rd hit of the game for building champions. We'll go from Warren Robertson to Carter Taldo.
And one thing I wanted to get to with Robertson, he's got a max bat speed of 87.1. And that is extremely hard to come by. It's hard to come by anybody over 80, let alone 87.1. That's 7 miles per hour higher than Giancarlo Stanton's average, which is the highest in the MLB.
Jeez.
And Carter Taldo right here following him up. He's got fantastic speed as well. So even if he puts something on the ground, he's got a chance to at least keep it alive and stay on base.
Yeah, Taldo will be followed by Cameron Mitchell, and then there's Drew Pittman looming, who of course hit a grand slam in the last game. And that would be a game changer should that opportunity arise for he and building champions here in the bottom of the 5th as they trail 3-0. Throw back to first. Keep him honest, but we've seen how good that move from Bucci can be.
Yeah, he's super nonchalant as a lefty on the mound. You can kind of make it super easy on yourself to pick over to first.
Runner's taken off, but that one's going foul. Just 58 pitches for Bucci here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Canes Midwest been in complete control so far, lead 3-0. They've out-hit building champions 6-3. There's that pickoff move again. Building champions also a couple errors on their ledger. Taldo steps out.
One thing I've noticed, seems like building champions very willing to call time and reset themselves when they're at the plate.
Well, misses on the outside, running full. See how Bucci responds. He has not really had a lot of stress on himself at all in this outing. Misses to get the walk, so they're going to have runners at first and second. Now it's Cameron Miller. Miller, the 8th ranked player in Missouri in the class, 15th ranked third baseman in the nation out of Nixa High School in Missouri. Ian Smith mentioned he's seen a lot of impressive ABs from Miller so far over the last week. Big hack. The first pitch he sees from Bucci.
I'm interested to see what Bucci looks like now with 2 runners on, no outs. He knows the situation he's in. I'm interested to see how he handles it.
Both runners taken off. The throw to third. Not in time as Delp tries to apply the tag off the bounce. Biggest opportunity that we have seen for building champions yet. Nobody out, and they've got runners at second and third. Miller sends that down the left field line, foul.
And the impression I've gotten on Miller throughout what I've seen from him in this tournament and specifically in this game, he's just got really good bat-to-ball skills. And that really helps out the guys when you're in this position, like having second and third base open, no outs. If you're just going to put the bat on the ball, there's a good chance you're going to get your side a run.
Bucci with the 0-2, swing and a miss, goes down on strikes. Nice job there as he gets the first out. You wanted to see how he was going to respond with guys on. Well, he responds in strikeout fashion to get the first out. Now here comes Drew Pittman. Pittman, we've said it time and again, grand slam in the last game. Part of a statement inning for building champions that pushed them into the championship game. Sends the first pitch back foul. Rips that one down the first baseline. Here comes one run. Oh, they're going to say that's foul. Looked like it may have stayed fair, but it doesn't. So everybody's going to head back to their starting spots at second and third, and Pittman will go back to the plate.
And something like that, you're going to make that first baseman really overthink his positioning now.
Yep.
Does he want to be close to the line? Does he think you're going to go back at it? But there's really no telling because Bucci's been doing a great job of switching up his speeds on the mound and whether he's throwing the fastball and just slowing it down itself. So Bucci's done a good job of controlling his speed and controlling kind of the pace of play in these at-bats here now that he's got runners on, so we'll see what he does.
0-2 swing and a miss, another strikeout. Man, Rocco Bucci living for the moment. Gets runners at second and third and gets back-to-back strikeouts. And now here comes JT Moorhead. And, man, if he gets out of this without any damage, you got to be awfully impressed with what we've seen out of him so far.
Certainly between him and then the offensive help that he's gotten from his team in a couple of big moments, it looks really good for Canes Midwest right now.
Jumps all over the first pitch on the run. That's down. Here comes one run. Here comes the second run. JT Moorhead absolutely goes backtracking, gone. It was kind of hard to see where the ball goes. We've got a tie ball game. JT Moorhead, man, he had us all fooled there for a second. That one's over the fence, and we've got a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the fifth, and in a moment, everything absolutely changes.
I might need to stop complimenting because both times I've said something good about Canes, they've given up a run now or given up a home run or given up hits. This is a whole new ballgame. This is crazy.
So Rocco Bucci goes from a shutout to now having a 3-3 game on his hands. Gather himself, and now he's got Parker Jenkins. Misses to make it 1-0. Huge turn of events for Bucci in this Canes Midwest team because, again, he had runners at second and third, goes to back-to-back strikeouts, and you thought he might actually get out of this thing without allowing a run. And then JT Moorhead absolutely changes all that as the 46th ranked player in Missouri out of St. Michael High School sends one over the fence in left field, and has things all tied up.
Yeah, and one thing about JT Moorhead that I noticed before the game, he's a catcher and an outfielder. And that just tells me he's an athlete. That's the biggest thing. Guys like Dalton Varsho, guys like that in the MLB that can play both of those positions. It is extremely difficult, and it definitely is a show of athleticism. He certainly showed some athleticism on that hit.
Well, both these teams had to show some serious grit, determination, and fight to even get to this point. They both trailed in their games. Canes Midwest trailed 2-0 in their game against 6'4" 3DP. Building Champions trailed 6-2 as they were taking on Dirtbags National, and they both end up earning a spot in this title game. So they've both had to fight to get to this point. Now they've got a fight on their hands as we are tied up at 3-3 in the bottom of the fifth, and I think that may be all for Rocco Bucci, as after the home run he issues a 2-out walk.
It's a tough spot to be in for Bucci. It's like we were talking about. He was pitching so well all the way up to this point, and then, a couple things don't fall your way, and all of a sudden it's a tie ball game. It's tough to deal with. Looks like he'll stay in the game, though.
Yeah, Rocco Bucci towels off, and he is going to stay in this game. I think they're going to see if they can get out of this fifth inning.
And as soon as I stepped in the booth, I said that we hadn't, this isn't so unfamiliar to us to see a team doing so well at one point late in the game, and another team that doesn't look like it's going their way, and then luck falls to their side, and it certainly has here. It's reminding me a lot of last week's championship game.
It's in for a strike. This is Cooper Kenny. He will be followed by Cohen Lilly. And then it's the top of the order, Grant Westfall, should it go that far for Building Champions. Can he skies that? Catcher on the run. Yeah, this is why we hold off on the engraving on the trophy, right? Even when a team's up 3-0 in the fifth inning. We just have one set, though, of national champions gear. We don't make it up for both programs, so we don't have to end up sending things off to a third world country. So you won't see an expose later on with all the losing teams having the title gear as he gets a strikeout to get out of the inning. But we've got a tie ball game, a whole new ball game as we move to the sixth inning. You were watching the 15U National Championship from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
3-3 tie in the top of the sixth inning in the 15U National Championship game. Things getting very, very interesting as we move along here from LakePoint Sports, the Audi Marietta Field, in this matchup between Canes Midwest and Building Champions Cory McCartney, along with Grayson Rosen. We'll continue with Jamison Rice on the mound for Building Champions, and he will be facing Drew Squires, Carson Luthauser, and Rocco Bucci here for Canes Midwest. Canes Midwest all of a sudden got to be thinking response now as they led 3-0 in the fifth inning, and then everything changes off the bat of JT Moorhead, a 3-run home run. We got a whole new ball game again. I'm going to say that over and over, but man, this game felt like it was headed in a completely different direction. Canes Midwest were just in complete control of this thing, and now everything's changed on a dime, and we could have an exciting finish here for the 15U National Championship.
Yeah, Canes is in a position where they know they can score runs. They've done it throughout this game, but it just kind of seems like they get a little bit streaky. They, They didn't have a great first inning. They come out, they have a great second inning. They don't look too great in the third, and then they come out and they score in the fourth, and that soars over.
Yes, throws him over the top of the first baseman's head, so Squires will start things off at first base.
Maybe not the way you imagined it going, but for Canes Midwest, this is a start.
So here is Connor Luthauser, 1 for 2 on the day. Runner at first now in the form of Drew Squires, Rocco Bucci in the on-deck circle.
Looked like he wanted a bunt, but a quick decision not to when it's coming at your face.
Yeah, Jamison Rice made his mind up for him. See what he does. Another 1-0. He throws over to first.
I think what's going to help out Canes Midwest here is that a lot of these guys have already gotten 2 looks now at Jamison Rice. They're coming in for their third one. This helps you out so much. He lays down another bunt. This one hits off of him, though. But now that Canes Midwest has gotten some looks at him, Rice is well into this game now. You have the chance to go out and do something here.
Show bunt again on the 1-1. Back throw to first.
Doesn't look like they got him.
Does not.
So now you got 2 strikes on you. No more bunting allowed. See what he switches up to here.
Dribbler, second for 1 out to first for the second. Nice double play there from Building Champions. And the pressure is going to be on for Rocco Bucci.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for Canes. You wanted to bunt because you can eliminate the option of a double play, and then you end up getting the 2 strikes and get one anyway.
So Bucci, I'm sure, looking to spark something here after he was tagged for a 3-run home run from JT Moorhead.
And I think at this point in the game, Bucci will stay here in the lineup, but probably likely that he'll get pulled out off the mound.
Simple for a strike. Also an outfielder, so a guy who can certainly stay in here and help his team out defensively and at the plate. Lays off, pitch in the exact same locations, now 1-1.
Yeah, those were 2 well-placed pitches by Rice. I didn't see a problem with either, but, you could say that one leaked in a little bit.
Tries to go back to it again. It's now 2-1. We're setting up for an exciting finish here in our 15U National Championship final. Living inside against Bucci.
Yeah, I think he just really wants to back him up off the plate, but Bucci's not going anywhere.
He's got a 3-1 count. Should he get on is Noah Spalding, who's already homered today. Dribbler to first.
It's foul.
Yeah, it's foul.
And had Bucci kind of stepped off the plate a little bit after those inside pitches, he probably wouldn't even made contact on that one. He'd be getting ready to go out for the next inning. But it was a great job by him, just being resilient, staying in your spot, hold your spot at the plate, and just keep fighting.
Here's a payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, goes back to the spot he'd been living in that whole AB. Nice job by Jamison Rice getting the ending strikeout. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. our feet stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
LakePoint Sports, 3-3 ball game between Canes Midwest and Building Champions as we vie for the 15U National Championship from the Audi Marietta Field in the Baseball Village. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. Rocco Bucci coming back out for another inning here for Canes Midwest. And aside from that one moment there against JT Moorhead, he has been awfully effective on the mound, just found himself in some trouble in his last time out. So we'll see how he responds.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he's coming back out, but you also got to remember we saw 4 stellar innings, one little mishap there in the 5th, and all of a sudden it's a different game. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Rocco Bucci has been phenomenal throughout this game.
Yeah, he goes with a single and then a walk, and then both runners able to advance, had him at second and third, and then JT Moorhead connects on. We didn't realize it was out at the moment that it happened, but ends up being a 3-run bomb to tie things up. And here is Cohen Lilly, and we will be back to the top of the order with Grant Westfall. That's in for a strike. Velo's still sticking around the same spot for him as he enters his 6th inning of work. Lilly skies that one down the left side. 78 pitches for Bucci. So it's not as though, I mean, yeah, he had that moment, but the workload hasn't been too gargantuan for him. Is that in first strike?
No.
No, they give him a ball. No, that did look like it had dropped in.
Maybe it just dropped a little too late. It looked great from here.
It sure did. It comes with the 1-2. A miss, going to run it to 2-2. Yeah, as I was saying, he hasn't had a huge workload to this point. Just around now 80 pitches. So I feel like aside from that one moment, he's a guy that can get you through and still keep your team in this game and give him a chance to see if your offense can do enough to try to claim this national championship as he goes down on strikes. That's strikeout number 6 for Bucci. He's allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. The top of the order, and Grant Westfall, who is 0 for 2. These two had a memorable battle to start things off, about a 10-11 pitch AB. That's the last thing that Bucci wants to see now, is to go another 10 pitches against this guy when you've thrown 82 and you're here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a tie game. Ropes that one into right field for his first hit of the day as he collides with the first baseman, Noah Spalding. I don't quite think he was trying to have that happen, and kind of reminiscent of the game that we had done Saturday between Diamond Jacks and STL Legacy, where we saw the first baseman collide with a couple runners and go airborne and all kinds of nonsense trying to pull down throws. But maybe we're just eliciting contact in a non-contact sport.
Maybe. They know they're on camera.
That's right.
They gotta really show out.
All right, so Westfall is at first. See that nice move from Bucci. We've seen him get a couple runners in precarious positions. All right, Westfall with a nice lead. See if he takes off. And this is a big moment for building champions. You got Andrew Maltsby, then Warren Robertson. These are some elite hitters at the plate for building champions in this part of the order. You go from Westfall, the #1 player in Kansas, to Maltsby, the #7 player, and then Robertson, as I mentioned, the 19th ranked player in Missouri. Be careful with that fake pickoff throw.
Yeah.
We've seen that be called for bunts, walks, before, all based on that foot placement. Another throwback over. He is intent on not letting Grant Westfall find his way to second base.
I think the only thing here is that the next time you throw a pitch, you're just urging him to steal second. And I'm not sure if that's what you want to do with Grant Westfall on the bases. Got a little bit of wind in the outfield, it looks like.
Yep. Yeah, just a little bit of a breeze picking up. It doesn't look like it's too bad out there, but the camera is getting a little shaky. I'd like to say that's just from the crowd noise. There's the 2-1. Oh, misses high, makes it 3-1. Big pitch looming for Rocco Bucci in Canes Midwest. 3-1 count to Andrew Maltsby. Got Grant Westfall at first base, a tie ball game here in the top of the 6th with 1 out. Or bottom of the 6th, with 1 out. Bucci fires, misses. So we're going to have runners at first and second. Here comes Warren Robertson. I believe we had some activity in the bullpen for Canes Midwest. Looks like somebody's making their way back to the dugout. And believe that will be it for Rocco Bucci. Nice performance out of him, though. That doesn't end quite the way that he wanted to, but 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks.
Looks like Coach might be asking to see if he is ready to go out. They haven't taken the ball from him yet, and I haven't seen that player that you mentioned coming back from the bullpen just yet. Maybe his day continues.
A lot of faith he's showing in Bucci if he allows him to go out after the second mound visit.
Keeps him in.
Keeps him in, so Rocco Bucci will continue. So his day is not over after 5 1/3.
And if you're Bucci, all you can hope is that this doesn't go the same way it went the last time. You had 2 runners on in a big position, because right here is very big. We talked about how Warren Robertson has got some power. He's got the crazy bat speed. If he puts it on display right here, this could be a whole different ball game.
Bucci fires. Robertson washes that in for a strike. Oh, 1 count's got 2 runners on. Sends that back foul.
This is a really important pitch right here for Bucci. You've got him where you want him. It's just about kind of showing some fire here and getting it done.
Yeah, I believe we've said big moments for him at least 10 or 15 times, it feels like, in this appearance. He's pitched really well. Just that one moment to go awry, and misses on the breaking ball, make it 1-2. It's back at Westfall at second base. Another miss. Robertson, who's 1 for 2, had a chance to make something happen here for building champions in the bottom of the 6th, and he skins that one back foul.
I think lucky for Bucci, he's got Robertson in a position where he does need to swing a little bit more defensively, so probably won't see that ridiculous pop off the bat, but either way, he can put it wherever he'd like.
Bucci with the 2-2. Oh, gets him in the strikeout in the inside corner. I think surprised Robertson without question. Now 2 down. Man, big moment for Rocco Bucci there as he gets a strikeout. Now it comes down to Carter Taldo. I believe Warren Robertson agreed with that call, but goes down on strikes. The pressure is on Carter Taldo. Sends that one up the middle. Westfall taking off for home. Throw is not going to be in time. Grant Westfall crosses the plate as Carter Taldo comes through with a big RBI single here in the bottom of the 6th, and Building Champions now leads 4-3.
What a wild turn of events in this 5th and 6th inning. Did not expect to walk in here and have Building Champions totally turn this thing around, but they're no strangers to it, just like how Canes wasn't coming into this game either. They both had to really fight through those semifinal games to get here. They both earned their spots, and now Building Champions doing just about the same thing they did last time around.
Carter Taldo, the 11th ranked player in Kansas, comes through to put Building Champions ahead 4-3. They've outscored Canes Midwest 4-0 since trailing 3-0. So 4 unanswered runs. A swing and a miss from Cameron Miller. Drew Pittman in the on-deck circle if the inning continues. Bounces away. Both runners going to advance 90 feet. Building Champions looking to build on that lead. One misses high and inside to Miller. Miller 0 for 1. Drew Pittman in the on-deck circle. Puts this one in play. That's down the left side. Throw from third to first. Oh, he came off. The ball came out of his glove. So another run scores for Building Champions, make it 5-3 off the misplay at first. So Cameron Miller is going to be standing at first, and Building Champions now has a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now I think it's safer to say that Bucci's day is probably over. It's so tough for Canes Midwest now because you got to start thinking that you come into the 6th. You had the chance to take him out after what happened in the 5th inning, and then you had another pitcher's meeting. You decide to keep him in, and then things just continue to fall apart. It's just unfortunate because Bucci did look so good, so I understand why you'd keep him in, but it's hard now looking at it, looking back, because now you're down 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th.
So Rocco Bucci's day is officially over at 5 2/3. He allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, and gave up the home run to JT Moorhead. We're going to have a pitching change and turn things over to Carson Luthauser. Luthauser from Rockwood Summit High School in Missouri. 2023 Junior Feature Games participant. Primarily a catcher with a pop time down to 195.
Yeah, he's the #1 catcher in Missouri, and we're getting to see him on the mound here.
So the 5'10", 185-pounder going to try to minimize damage here and try to give Canes Midwest bats an opportunity to see if they can piece something together in the top of the 7th inning. But they have been outscored 5-0 as Building Champions has taken this lead. Canes Midwest was in complete control, and then everything flipped in the 5th inning, and Building Champions has come alive and taken this 2-run lead. Drew Pittman, he of the Grand Slam in the semifinals, will be stepping to the plate for Building Champions, and then JT Moorhead. So you got a guy who hit a Grand Slam in the last game and a guy in JT Moorhead who hit a 3-run home run in this game. Those are the batters conceivably waiting for Drew Luthhauser if he can't get out of the inning.
Yeah, Building Champions got a huge opportunity here to maybe start to run away with it, but also 2 outs. So you got to be smart about what you do up there at the plate right now.
See how Carson Luthhauser starts things off here against Drew Pittman. Pittman 0 for 2 in this game. Miss makes it 1-0. Pittman, 13th ranked player in Kansas. Now 2-0.
Do you also hear what sounds like an ice cream truck?
An ice cream truck in the background, which is a kind of a strange occurrence here because I don't know. We actually sell our own ice cream here at LakePoint Sports. And no, absolutely
way.
Gets held to that one. He is on the run. That one's back at the wall, able to make the grab.
Wow.
And, man, I thought Drew Pittman was adding another home run to his day. Building Champions, though, they lead 5-3 as we are through 6 innings in the 15U National Championship. Don't go anywhere. We are headed for an exciting finish from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Comes down to this in the 15U National Championship Final. Building Champions leads 5-3 over Canes Midwest. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. Jamison Rice coming back out for another inning for Building Champions, and he's going to be facing off against Noah Spalding, Griffin Bozen, and Liam Delp for Canes Midwest. Noah Spalding, of course, already has a solo home run in his box score for the day, and Canes Midwest looking for a spark here. They led 3-0, and then Building Champions just took control. A 3-run shot from JT Moorhead, and then some more magic in the bottom of the 6th, and they find themselves ahead 5-3 with a chance to seal things up and claim a 15U National Championship.
Oh, that one took a bad bounce.
Tough moment for the catcher there. JT Moorhead, who we were just talking about. Ball hit our studio here.
Yeah, which is interesting because
I believe we have tryouts going on for some teams here, but JT Moorhead, who supplied that 3-run home run, having a moment he'd like to forget here in the top of the 7th. Been a nice job pitching. We haven't really talked about it a lot, but Jamison Rice came on in relief here and has been really strong. I mean, it hasn't been a lot of swing and miss stuff. Just 1 strikeout and 1 walk for him, but he's allowed just 1 run off the home run from Noah Spalding in their last meeting, and then over 4 1/3 inning, just been really strong.
Yeah, he's been great. Obviously, right now is the matchup you're looking for, the guy that was responsible for that home run at the plate at the moment. But Jamison Rice has been really good, just giving Building Champions a chance to stay in this game. Obviously, he gave up the home run, which is unfortunate. You know, it's just how it goes. But only giving up 1 run in 4.1 innings of work thus far, and looks like he jumped all over another one.
Yeah, 94.8 off the bat.
Camera's not turning. Oh, yeah.
Center fielder got that one. Last time he sent it over the wall in left field, but this time Noah Spalding is 90+ off the bat, but it is into the glove of the opposing defender, and there is one down. And now here it's Griffin Bozen, who's 1 for 2.
And if Rice can just hold them off here, you'll be walking off that mound a national champion.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with what he's been able to do. It has not been completely dominant swing and miss stuff, but as you said, he's been able to get some ground balls to start off double plays. He's been able to induce some weak contact. Yeah, we've seen a guy hit 2+ 90 off the bat off of him, including a home run. But by and large, he has been able to minimize damage and give Building Champions a chance here to walk out its national champions. And another on the ground. That one to second on the run. Throws flips to first in time for the second out. So it all comes down to Liam Delp here with 2 down. Liam Delp, again, who we did a live in-game talk back with during Sunday's bracket pool play game. So I'll be excited to share that moment with everyone here as we piece that thing together. But he's got to try to extend the game here for Canes Midwest as they're down to their final out.
And you can count on Delp here. He's just full of energy. That's the biggest thing that I noticed being a part of that talk back that we did with him was he's always got energy. He always wants to be moving around and seems just like a fun-loving kid. So we'll see if he can get something started here and bring the energy to the side.
He's got a 1-1 count against him. Should he get on, it's Brendan Schaefer, and then it's the top of the order with Tyler Fryman. So some big bats looming for Canes Midwest, but Liam Delp has got to extend this game if you're Canes Midwest, and the count's now 2-1.
And Delp's got some phenomenal speed when he gets on the bases. He's got a 6.89 60 time. If he does get on the bases, there's a chance he's going to be moving around. Maybe he runs this one out.
Throw from third to first. In time, Building Champions comes back. They trail 3-0. But, man, they turned it on. For the second straight game, they scored 6 runs, including a grand slam from Drew Pittman just to take out Dirtbags National and make it to the championship game. They trail 3-0 against Canes Midwest and come back in dramatic fashion. A 3-run home run from JT Moorhead and sealed things off there. And they are walking out of LakePoint Sports as 15U national champions.
Just the second week in a row that we've had a fantastic comeback late in the game by this team or by our winning side.
Yeah, some shout-outs there to Canes Midwest. They played really hard. Rocco Bucci was fantastic on the mound with 7 strikeouts. Noah Spalding had a really great week when you think about what he was able to do on the mound. 10 2/3 runs across 4 appearances. 10 2/3 innings across 4 appearances on the mound. 15 strikeouts, 0 runs, and then had a home run today. But, man, Building Champions, they came in with a highly touted crew, including the #1 player in Kansas, and Grant Westfall, and they walk out of here with a championship. And that big moment coming via the bat from JT Moorhead, a 3-run home run. We watched them celebrating this national championship in the background. The guys going out, and, yeah, don't forget that gear. The parents, I know you're excited to get those national championship shirts, but, man, those parents do not want you leaving those $300+ gloves laying on the turf there at LakePoint Sports. See Avery Hunt there, who started off the broadcast with us, and we see the guys off to the side here now putting on their national championship shirts. And we'll cut to one of our other camera views, and we'll be able to see these guys as they get geared up for their championship picture together.
Yeah, I think for Building Champions here, this was a fantastic showing late in this game. Like we kind of talked about, this huge comeback victory. This was kind of built up over a couple of innings. You had some dominance on the mound by Bucci from Canes Midwest, and then Building Champions just was able to get to him once he got late into that game. He was fatigued. It's super humid. He's constantly having to go back to the towel to dry off his hands. So you have a chance to kind of dictate the pacing of the game at the plate when you have Bucci constantly taking these breaks, and I think Building Champions just used that to their advantage and settled in, waited until their moment was right, and they just started striking. And as soon as that happened, it seemed like the momentum entirely shifted. And, of course, that 3-run home run was huge for them and ties it up, and then eventually they come out and they win it.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break here as the guys get themselves all geared up as national champions. And when Grayson, Rosen, and I come back, we'll talk player of the game.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
To LakePoint Sports, Cory McCartney, along with Grayson, Rosen, building champions, are 15U national champions, coming back in dramatic fashion to, they trolled 3-0 against Canes Midwest. We saw some more magic from them. They had a monumental comeback to even make it to the championship game. Then they were trailing 3-0, and then the big moment in this one comes via the form of JT Moorhead, and just jumps on the very first pitch that he sees, an 81-mile-an-hour fastball, and he hammers this thing for a 3-run home run that tied this game. It was an absolute game changer.
Yeah, it was huge, and we barely even noticed that it got over the wall. Like it seemed like he didn't notice that it was going to go over, because he struck it well, and it went out there, but he had the outfielders tracking back for it, and they kind of followed it all the way to the wall, and then all of a sudden it's over the fence, and it's a tie ball game, and that is where the momentum entirely shift, and it is a big, big help because of J.P. Moorhead.
Yeah, building champions, 5-3 winners over Canes Midwest. And again, there was some big performance in this. Rocco Bucci on the mound for Canes Midwest. We saw Noah Spalding deliver the home run for them. But man, Grant Westfall was waiting on that first hit. He delivers it. And then ends up getting on, and he is, really sets the tone there and getting another key run for them in the sixth inning as they pull ahead from that 3-3 tie to end up getting this championship.
Yeah, and in that fifth inning, we had Warren Robertson and Carter Taldo did a great job of just getting things started, getting on base by any means possible. They both worked walks, they both get on base, and things get started, and then that leads to that home run that ties up the ball game, and then you have a fantastic showing in that fifth inning. The offense stays hot. They continue going, in the sixth inning, and they just keep going, and it turns out to go their way, and now they're national champions.
Yeah, Grant Westfall gets on via single. Then you had the Maltsby walk, and then Taldo, as you mentioned, singles. He advances second on a wild pitch, and then Miller comes through reaching on it. He reaches on an air. Then Maltsby scores. Taldo advances to third base. It was a little bit of chaos there at the end. You kind of felt like things were kind of maybe falling apart for Canes Midwest. They were in control of that game for the longest time. It looked like they were going to be marching to a national championship, but it all ends on the bat of our player of the game, JT Moorhead. So congratulations to he and building champions. They are 15U national champions, so a big moment for them. And we are not done with our broadcast here at LakePoint Sports, so make sure you stick around this weekend as we'll have coverage from the 14U national championship, and then we'll bring you that championship game next Wednesday. So make sure you join us again. We'll be able to find those games for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Until then, for Grayson Rosen and producer Jack McCartney in the back, this is Cory McCartney signing off from LakePoint Sports.